Hello everyone, welcome back to Chinmoy's Biology channel. So today we are here with a very interesting topic, that is science behind kitchen. So let's get started with this episode, and it's a very interesting episode, and please don't skip in the middle because many interesting things regarding kitchen and what are the all happening in the kitchen we will be discussing regarding that in this topic. So let's get started. So first thing what we see is when we peel and cut onions, it makes you cry. So onions, for many vegetables, for many things, we need to chop onion. So why does this onion make you cry? So what is the science behind that? So when you are cutting an onion, you are actually disrupting the cell walls of the onion, which are actually releasing certain enzymes and sulfur containing compounds. Okay, so when we are separating or disrupting the cell walls, they have been previously separated. Now here's the science behind this: is sulfur compounds in onions, that is onion absorb from the soil. From where these onions are absorbing the sulfur compounds? From the soil itself, right? So this sulfur, they combine with the amino acids in the onion to form sulfoxides, and it is having a natural defense mechanism. So onion, eating onion is actually good for health because the sulfur which is absorbed from the soil combines with the amino acids in the onion and forms sulfoxide, so which is good for defense mechanism. So our question was that why does it make you cry? What is happening? Now, what enzyme reaction is happening? An enzyme called alliinase is released during this reaction, and this enzyme reacts with the sulfur containing compounds to form sulfanic acid. Okay, so this sulfanic acid is a volatile irritant. So sulfanic acid is formed when that sulfur containing compounds comes in contact with this alliinase. This sulfanic acid is formed. This sulfanic acid is unstable and quickly rearranges into the gas called zinc propanethyl S oxide. Okay, so this gas is highly volatile and vapors into the air. So that gas, zinc propanethyl S oxide, which is an unstable form of sulfanic acid, it is mixing with the air. And what is happening when this gas reaches our eyes? It reacts with the water of the tears, and it forms a weak solution of sulfuric acid. Okay, so this acid is irritating our eyes, causing your tear glands to produce more tears to wash it away. So this is what is the chemical reaction or science behind why do onions make you cry. So it's a sequence of reactions, right? The cell walls are getting ruptured, sulfur compounds in this onion, they combine with the amino acids, they form sulfoxides, they come in contact with alliinase enzyme, form the sulfanic acid is actually unstable, it mixes with the gas and forms the zinc propanethyl S oxide, and this volatile thing comes in contact with the eye, forms a weak solution of sulfuric acid with the tear of your eyes, and irritates that, causing your tear glands to produce more tears. So how can we get rid of crying while cutting onions? So that should also be known to us because this is a daily activity we will be doing in our kitchen. So what we can do to prevent our eyes or save our eyes from this burning or flowing of tears from our eyes? So let's see that. Now, how to prevent crying while cutting the onions? So first of all, we can chill the onion. So if we are refrigerating the onion for half an hour, then for 15 to 20 minutes, so before cutting, then what will happen? It will lower the temperature and it will lower the enzymatic reaction. That is, the formation of alliinase will be reduced. So when the formation of alliinase is reduced, sulfanic acid will also be formed less, and thus the volatile irritant will cause less irritation to our eyes, right? Now another thing is cut underwater. So chop an onion in a bowl of water, and the water prevents the gas from reaching your eyes. So if you are chopping or cutting the onions into half, soaking it in a bowl of water, that will just prevent the gas from reaching your eyes. Okay, so use a sharp knife always. A sharp knife causes less cell damage, reducing the release of less sulfur compounds. So this is another thing. Now you can wear glasses or goggles to protect for protective goggles prevent the gas from reaching your eyes. Okay, so you can use a ventilator or a fan. A fan actually keeps on blowing away from your face, and it can carry the gas into another direction. So if you are using a fan near your face while chopping the onions, what will happen? The gas which is coming directly from the onion and it causing your eyes irritation in your eyes, it will blow away and you'll have less burning in your eyes, right? So these are the methods of prevention of while cutting onions. So next, let us come to the next part of science in kitchen. So baking is also a part of kitchen. So baking, what science is there in this baking? So baking chemistry is generally happening in this. So baking is like science experiment. Ingredients like baking soda, that is a base which reacts with the acidic components, okay, that is lemon juice, buttermilk and all, to produce carbon dioxide, which makes the cake and bread rise. Okay, so baking soda and baking powder, actually they are basic things. They are reacting with the acidic components of the cake batter. They are producing carbon dioxide to make the cake much fluffy and softer. So this is the chemistry or science behind the baking of cakes. Now we will discuss about the main role of common baking ingredients. So in this, first what comes? The flour. So what the flour contains? It contains starches, it contains gluten, proteins, that is gliadin and glutenin. So all are chemicals, you see, which forms a stretchy network that traps the gas and gives the bread a structure. Eggs, what do the eggs do? What we use in baking? They add moisture, they bind ingredients and provide the structure through protein coagulation. Egg yolks also act as emulsifiers. Now add sweetness when you are adding sugar. It is aiding browning or caramelization or Maillard reaction is happening. So this Maillard reaction we will study in details in the next slide itself. It retains the moisture to keep the baked goods soft. So if you are not adding a pinch of sugar in your baking things, it will become turn hard because the chemical reaction is happening. It will not become soft as cake or a bread, it will become hard. Okay, so to retain the moisture, sugar is also required. Now fats also help in tenderizing the product by shortening the gluten strands and enhancing the flavor. So individually all the common baking ingredients, they are all having individual function, right? Leavening agents, that is creating the air pockets and helping the gas production for fluffy textures, that is baking soda, baking powder and all. So they are causing gas production, that is carbon dioxide production, and leaving creating air pockets to give a soft texture to your cake or bread, right? Now here comes the caramelization and the Maillard reaction. So what is caramelization? When sugar is heated, it undergoes caramelization, resulting in a rich nutty flavor and brown color. The Maillard reaction, this in details in the next slide we will study, occurs when the proteins and the sugars in food are heated together. So and they become golden brown crust on bread, cookies as well as meat. When in micro oven you are cooking the meat also for a long time, you will see the upper crust has become it has become brown in color. So that is when the sugars and the proteins, they are heating together, they will form a brown crust or coating. That is what is happening here in this cakes. Here also it is also this Maillard reaction is happening here as well. So when you are heating the sugars and the proteins, here milk is there, so when they are heated together, it forms a crust, golden brown crust. So let us see what is Maillard reaction in detail. So this is Maillard reaction. I have already told that the golden brown color comes when proteins and sugars in the dough are exposed to high temperature. They react to form complex flavor compounds and the golden brown crust on baked goods. So what is the chemical reaction happening here? Now in Maillard reaction, protein plus sugar plus heat, it combines to form color, flavor and aroma of the baked bread. Okay, so color, flavor and aroma of the baked bread is formed here. Now what are the key components? Heat, amino acid, sugars. They all three combine together to form brown color and rich flavor. This reaction is why bread crusts, cookies, and pastries have distinct aroma and taste. So the crust of the bread, you see, it's having a nice flavor, nutty flavor. It is having cookies, pastries have a distinct aroma and taste. So this is actually due to this Maillard reaction which is happening. So let us see what next is there. So next comes a very important thing which is happening in kitchen, that is fermentation. So yeast, bacteria and fungi are used to convert the sugars into alcohol, gases or acid, and this process is essential for making bread, for making yogurt, for making cheese and for making pickles. So all these things we are making in our kitchen. So these all require fermentation. So the role of yeast in fermentation is very important. Yeast is a microorganism that ferments sugar in the dough, releasing carbon dioxide gas and ethanol, right? So this process causes the dough to rise. So here the process which helps the dough to rise. So what is the equation here? C6H12O6, that is glucose. Okay, it what is it doing during this reaction? It is releasing carbon dioxide and alcohol is produced. So alcohol evaporates during baking, leaving behind an airy soft bread. So carbon dioxide and alcohol are the main things when the sugar thing is fermenting, right? So carbon dioxide and ethanol gas is produced, which will be evaporating. So and the bake it will leave behind airy soft bread. Now let's study some pressure cooker physics. So what is this physics behind pressure cooker? Pressure cooker works by increasing the boiling point of the water, and the higher the pressure, higher pressure cooks food faster by allowing the temperature to rise above 100 degrees. So there is an immense pressure inside the pressure cooker and increasing the boiling point of water. So the high pressure cooks food faster by allowing the temperature rise above 100 degrees centigrade, right? So let us move on to the next one, and this pressure cooker we are using most in our kitchen. So there is always a science behind each and everything what we are doing in our kitchen, right? Oil and water, they don't mix, right? So oil and water are they immiscible. So oil is non-polar and water is polar. So emulsifiers like egg yolk, lecithin, they help to bind together, creating stable mixtures like mayonnaise. Okay, so generally oil and water they'll not mix, but emulsifiers like egg yolk, lecithin, what is there in egg yolk is lecithin, which helps to bind that together and helps create mayonnaise, a stable mixture. Okay, so this is how the mayonnaise is formed in kitchen. Now here comes the microwave magic. So every now and then we are microwaving food. So what is the science behind that? So microwaves heat food, causing the water molecules to vibrate. So in your food there are water molecules inside your food, creating the heat through friction. So they are causing your water molecules to vibrate, and which is creating heat through friction. So that is how it is actually heating up your food. So water molecules are vibrating. So water molecules, when they start vibrating, they cause friction in between each other. So this friction causes a frictional heat, and which causes your food to heat faster. Okay. Now comes why salt enhances the flavor of food. So for every all things which we are preparing, we need to add a little bit of salt. Apart from, if it is not a sweet dish, we need to add salt to each and every food we are preparing. So salt, what does it do actually? Does it make the food salty? No, it doesn't just make the food salty. What is it doing? It is enhancing the sweetness of the food, and it is reducing the bitterness by affecting the taste buds and the brain signals. So you are getting brain signals that your bitterness has reduced and your sweetness in your diet has increased, and this increases the saltiness of the food, and thus salt is enhancing the flavor always. Okay, so it enhances the sweetness as well as reduces the bitterness also. So there are many scientific reasons why the salt acts as a flavor enhancer. Blanching and color preservation. So what is blanching? Many green vegetables we do blanch in kitchen, like broccoli and all. So what does this blanching mean? So blanching vegetables in hot water, actually what does it do? It actually deactivates the enzymes that cause the discoloration. So once you are blanching the vegetables properly in hot water, and then again putting them in frozen cold water, that deactivates the enzymes, and discoloration is not happening, and keeping the color of the vegetables vibrant and nutritious. So this is a process of blanching and color preservation, and the science behind it is causing the enzymes to deactivate. Now, this is a very important thing we are doing every day in kitchen, that is cooking eggs. So there is a science behind that as well. So eggs, they are protein in nature. The proteins denature and coagulate when heated, turning the liquid to solid. So denaturing of the protein and coagulation of the proteins is what is happening in eggs. The temperature control determines whether the eggs are soft boiled, hard boiled, or scrambled. So if you are boiling the egg for 6 minutes, it will be soft. 7 minutes also soft. 8 minutes also a little bit soft. After 9 minutes it turns totally hard. 10 minutes also, and this is after 10 minutes. So this is how you are exposing that egg to heat. The more the amount of protein will be coagulated harder. So this is what is happening in the behind the cooking of eggs. So if you are giving it less time, it will be half boiled, or what we can say, it will be semi solid. And then if you are boiling it for 10 to 15 minutes, it will be hard boiled egg. So the time, whether how much you are controlling the temperature, depends on that only, the softness and the hardness of the eggs. So this is all today for about the science of kitchen. So this was a very interesting topic. I hope you all have liked this. If you are liking my channel, if you want to see more such interesting topics, please do subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends, and as well as stay updated with all the episodes which I'm posting, and write your comments in the comment box. Thank you. Stay tuned, stay subscribed.